Hello and welcome to Shelley Carney Live Stream Coach. I am your host, Shelley Carney. This is Toby Younis. Tonight we'll be talking about client attraction and specifically 5 strategies for attracting clients and what those strategies are and how you can employ those strategies to attract new leads and clients into your business online.
You're going to tell them all that?
Yeah.
You're very generous.
I have lots of information to share.
Sounds like it.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Don't mess around.
Don't mess around.
Are you an encore entrepreneur, over age 50 and want to produce a live stream, podcast, and blog to expand your brand and business? Come experience live stream coaching with Shelley Carney and Toby Younis. Every week you'll receive motivation, encouragement, and supportive tips and tools to design a creative media campaign that will attract an audience full of friends, leads, and new clients. Subscribe today and discover the steps to mastering technology, content creation, and digital marketing that will bring you success, fun, and fulfillment as you expand your branded online presence.
You ready?
Yes.
There we go.
All right. 5 strategies for attracting clients. So if you had to take a guess, what would you think would be in those 5 strategies? Can you think of anything that might be a strategy for attracting clients?
So attracting clients is based on visibility and credibility. So any way you can use to build your visibility in this new social media-based world of marketing. And that could include a lot of the things that we teach, live streaming, podcasting, blogging, book writing.
Wow, you're all over it.
Yeah. And then being able to express your expertise in a creative and convincing way. And making sure that you're always ahead of where your customer believes they are.
Okay.
So I'm running out of thoughts here.
Well, let's move into the first slide then.
All right.
I believe content marketing can boost your online presence quickly so you can gain the visibility that attracts quality leads. So content marketing is what we're talking about today and have been all week in our shows. Content marketing is basically putting out content, of a variety of content, in fact, that captures the attention of those people that you are targeting with your message. So first you need to know who's your target audience, then you craft your message, and then you put it out in different pieces of content across the social media platforms available to you.
So is that with the expectation that sooner or later one of your prospective clients is going to see it?
Yes. That's right. Also, it gives you that extra boosted credibility because you're seen and heard and people know your name. And my name, in fact, is Shelley Carney. I'm a podcasting and live streaming host, a coach, a consultant, an entrepreneur, a personal development expert, an interviewer, a podcaster, an author, a presenter, an introvert, and a 9 on the Enneagram. And I use content marketing to attract an audience. And this is one of the ways I do that.
I mean, you're actually, as we sit here looking at that camera right now, we're doing what you recommend.
That's right. That's right.
Pretty smart.
So what are the 5 strategies for attracting clients? Here's number 1, live stream video. Live stream. Why live stream video? Why not produce a video and put it out there? People like to attend live theater, probably even more than they like to attend a movie, which is probably why live theater is usually more expensive. For instance, if you go to Broadway, how much is a Broadway show?
$250.
There you are. Going to a movie is about 20, and that's with a snack.
And then another 20 for popcorn.
Yeah. So live stream gives you that feeling of being in live theater because everything's live. People are real. You're seeing all the things that are happening as they happen. And if you're there with that person, you get to interact with them. You can write your name on the screen and they'll read it out loud, and that can be exciting. It's just that touch point, that really strong touch point of having that ability to interact with the person that you see on your screen. That makes it exciting.
Well, and then you have to consider where the platforms are putting their investment.
Mm.
I mean, YouTube hasn't made any significant investment in upload video technology in several years now. I mean, that technology is done. There's nothing exciting that we're going to get out of continuing to upload
Shorts.
videos. The shorts was its close, but they did that not as a result of something that was technologically evolutionary. They did that so that they could compete with TikTok, right? But when you look at where they've made their investment over the past 3, maybe 4 years, I think it's probably closer to 3, it's all on their live streaming platform, including things like, even if you're going to upload it, premiere it so that you do have a live stream effect, right? So you're at least there in the chat room. So they've made a heck of investment in live streaming. They've made it easier. They've adapted to the changes. They've realized that there's not only that, there's an industry that is built up around that. The product that we're using, StreamYard, the product that we used, Restream.io, Vidnami, those are all products that are an extension of what YouTube and the bigger platforms, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all of those platforms are investing in live streaming. TikTok is now, as I go through my For You page, every other swipe is somebody that's live. And they're letting you go as long as you want. You do have to have 1,000 subscribers, that kind of thing, but they're letting them go as long as they want. And you can tell that's what they're going to do. That whole concept of an infinitely linked live stream is very different from where they started a couple of years ago. What was it, 2016, with a 15-second video, you know? So everybody, all the major platforms are investing in the technology and making it more progressively more available. So why not live stream?
And an extended reach. So you'll notice if you're going live to Facebook rather than posting a video to Facebook, you're going to increase your reach.
All right. And the other thing that they're doing is they're building these platforms, these technologies, with the expectation that they're not going to be watching on TV or desktop or laptop. They're going to be watching on their smarty pants.
On their phones, yeah. So here's some great statistics for you. And maybe we can take that. 82% of consumers would rather watch live video than read social media posts. 61% of people say their purchase decisions came from watching vlogs on YouTube. Marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster than non-video users. These statistics are for 2021, so I want you to be aware of them. Those high numbers, right? 82% of consumers. That's a lot of the consumers, right? 82%. That's a really big number. Would rather watch live video than read social media posts. So what does that tell you? Mix it up. Put out some live video on your social media platforms to grab their attention and to get them to engage with you. 61% of people say their purchase decisions came from watching vlogs on YouTube, which tells you that people they're watching on screen are influencers to them. They're going to listen to what they recommend. They're going to buy the things that person recommends. If you're selling your own product and you're putting out videos about it, you're 61% of the people who watch your video are more likely to buy your product because they saw you in a YouTube video. And marketers who use video, and not all of them do, but they grow their revenue 49% faster than non-video users. So why not?
Well, I want to show you an example. This wasn't exactly because I watched a YouTube video from this manufacturer. What I watched was an
Showing
Instagram.
everybody your address.
Instagram. No, wait, can you see it? Yeah, there we go. What I was showing, or the way it came about is I was watching an Instagram person who's not even an influencer. She's just somebody who practices her form of Instagram videos really, really well. And she kept mentioning this product.
You wouldn't have defined her as an influencer, but obviously she had an influence over you.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't think of herself as that. But one of the things that you notice about her work is not only does she produce these videos, microbiology videos, really, really well done, she documents her activities in her Instagram post, including research citations. So if she's talking about, for example, stentors or tardigrades, right? She, at the bottom, she adds the citations. And to me, that was like somebody that knows what she's talking about. I should listen to her. And so $400 later, and I haven't opened it because I want to make an unboxing video on it. But she did have that kind of influence. The other thing those statistics explain is why the platforms are making investments in improving their live streaming channel.
Yeah.
You know, their live streaming product. For those statistics, why not?
And I'll give you one more reason to live stream. No editing.
That's my favorite reason right there.
Yeah. We don't like editing if we don't have to. We opt not to. If you can plan ahead, you can opt not to edit.
Yeah. If there's things, you see the things that we do here where we're adding intros and outros with that takes a little bit of time to do it. But once you've done it once, it goes into all your shows and it means that's less editing. The reason we do it live, sometimes mistakes happen. Sometimes it's not the right video or it clunks up or whatever. It's worth it to us, but because it means we don't have to edit that stuff in afterwards. We can take it as it is. We, as a matter of fact, Shelley and I tested this, last night. One of the byproducts of doing it in StreamYard is not only do you produce a video, they also produce the audio track. We took that audio track because we now have intros and outros on it, and we uploaded it directly to our Anchor FM account. I mean,
and now we have a podcast up.
Right.
That quickly.
Yeah.
We started the show at 7. And by 8:05, the podcast was done, uploaded, all the show notes. It was ready to go.
Right. So, as Shelley said, one of the biggest advantage to me, especially, is you don't spend any time editing. You just
big time saving. Yeah. Number two strategy for client attraction: podcasting. There are over 16 million self-identified avid podcasts fans in the US. These are people who listen to podcasts just about every day. They listen at least once a week. 24%, 68 million people listen to podcasts weekly, but 16 million of them are avid fans. So they're more likely to listen at least once a day or even more often. And 60% of podcast listeners have bought something from a podcast ad. Because you are in their head, you have become a trusted authority. So when you say, hey, there's this great product that I just tried and you should try it too, they're going to really consider doing that.
And when you think about it, the idea of downloading a podcast, because it's rare that they're not available live. They're not live streamed, right? They are uploaded and then you download them to your smart device and you take it with you, basically. That may to you sound like, well, doesn't that fly in the face of live streaming? No, it doesn't really, because you're still maintaining that intimate relationship between you and an individual. A podcast is something that someone listens to by themselves. I know that sounds kind of weird. I listen to them when I'm driving and when I'm working out. And you're still developing that intimate relationship between you and your prospective client, even though you're not live streaming. They've made it a point to go subscribe to your podcast, and every time they see a new one up, they download it and they look for the opportunity to listen to it. And it, like I said, they're not listening to it. I hope they're not listening to it at the dinner table when they're sitting around with their families. They're listening to it after everyone has gone to bed, or during their workout, or while they're driving to and from work. But it's just you and them. And that's why it's such a good part of this whole strategy that Shelley's talking about today.
And of course, not everybody can show up live to your video because they're not all on the same schedule. Somebody in Australia could download your podcast and listen to it the next day while you're doing something else, you're sleeping, whatever. And you can develop those relationships with people on automatic, right?
Yeah, it's very good.
Number 3, client attraction strategy, blogging. Blogs that earn over $50,000 per year say their most popular posts are 24, so 2,424 words long. That's an entire 83% longer than those of low-income bloggers. So keep that number in mind when you're starting to blog, that you want to get that sweet spot around 2,400 words. 34% of buyers will make an unplanned purchase after reading quality content. So if you're promoting something that's going to help people stay safe, lose weight, earn money, have a better relationship, they see that, they read that, they're convinced by what you've written, they are more likely to go out and purchase something at that point because you've convinced them that that's something that they need in their life. The number 1 traffic source for high-income bloggers is organic traffic from Google. So what does that tell you? That you want to focus on those things that your target audience would be Googling. So if your target audience is looking for what's the fastest way to put up a live stream, then you want to put out a blog about the fastest way to put out a live stream. So focus intently on what it is your target audience wants, what kind of results they're looking for, what they're typing into Google, and make blogs about that topic. And this will be shown to those people when they type that in.
Last night we talked about the how to structure the title of your show in a way that's keyword, and if it's keyword friendly, it's Google friendly,
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, when we were preparing for the show, I was trying to get up the sites that Shelley wants to talk about at the end of her program, and I made a mistake, and I entered something, and it was it wasn't one of our sites. It was a topic. It was the topic that we talked about last night, and Google had already surveyed this topic, and we were listed right at the top. We'll do it.
Of course, we were signed in, so probably knew that.
Well, let's. I can sign out of those things.
Yeah.
I want to do it again. I'll do it while you're talking about some of the others.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to do it again because I thought it was an important lesson
Mm-hmm.
when you consider, if we just took the title that you worked on for last night's show, and I've forgotten it now. You're going to have to tell me what it was. It was
Our clients are so attractive. Why?
No, it was something. We started with content marketing, attracting clients with content marketing.
That was Tuesday.
Oh,
Last
okay. Well,
night
that's
was
one.
our clients are powerfully attractive. Why are our clients
Powerfully attractive. Right.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
we talked about that, but we've been talking about it all week. I know it gets a
Right.
little confusing, but it's all the same topic, and we dive deeply into it from different entry points.
Right.
All right. Number 4 of the client attraction strategies, lead magnets and email sequences. So you start off with a lead magnet, and then you nurture that lead. Once you've gotten their name and email address, you nurture that lead by sending them emails over and over again and building up that relationship through email. 50% of marketers who start using lead magnets report higher conversion rates. And that means when you use a lead magnet and then nurture people through an email sequence, 50% of those marketers get clients from that, get people who buy.
What they call higher conversion rates.
Right.
A conversion is someone who is converted from someone who you possibly didn't even know to eventually becoming a customer. So that doesn't mean 50% of those people are going to become your customer. What it says is 50% of the people that use this strategy report that it is a strategy good enough to cause conversion, an increased conversion rate.
Yes, thank you. And 58.6% of marketers claim that short-form written lead magnets, such as newsletters, checklists, copy examples, smaller files, ebook samples, make for the highest conversion rates. So that's a pretty good number, and it doesn't require a whole lot from you to create a checklist. You can do that in a couple of hours.
You want to show them an example?
Here's a checklist. It's called the Client Attraction Checklist, the most effective ways to attract qualified clients in 2021. And inside is a checklist, right? It's got 1, 2, 3 pages and a cover, back cover. So a front cover, a back cover, and 3 interior pages. And within those pages, I give you a checklist of 27 different ways to attract qualified clients. And they're all falling into these 5 strategies, but they're specific ways to use that strategy, specific to the occasion. So,
And Shelley's going to show you how to get that.
and I created this in just a couple of hours, with a couple of different programs that we have to make it look fancy. I could have just easily put it into a Google Doc and shared the link with everybody. You can do that as well, and then it doesn't cost you any money. It's even quicker than going for a couple hours. It just all depends on how much work and time you want to put into it, and how fancy you want it to look, and it's up to you.
Fancy schmancy.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you back on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And next slide.
Next slide. So, see?
Oh, it came up.
So this is the 27 amazing ideas that you can get in the free client attraction checklist. And as you can see, there's another piece of content I created was this mock-up of an ebook on a cell phone, which tells you that this is a digital product. And you can get the free client attraction checklist at that link, https://agkmedia-cac2021.gr8.com. That will be in the description box as well as the show notes. So if you would like your own copy of this free gift, Client Attraction, go there and grab it.
Well, we're going to show you that page in just a minute, and I'll put it into the chat room so you have it there as well.
So that was about lead magnets. Let's look at the statistics on email. 87% of marketers use email campaigns to nurture their audiences. So it must work because 87% do it. They wouldn't do it and spend time on it if it wasn't working. For every $1 you spend on email marketing, you can expect an average return of $42. So if I had an ATM machine or a slot machine or whatever, and every time I put in $1, I got back $42, I would do it a lot.
Yeah.
Number 5, our strategy number 5 for client attraction is social media posting and engagement. So you can go to how many different sites are we talking about? Like anything, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, on and on and on and on.
Well, I could keep going on, and we're just talking about the ones that are primarily North American driven.
Right.
Europe has its own whole set. If you do social media platforms in Europe, Asia has its own.
And those are just text and
And-
video. Then
and-
we also have podcast platforms, and then we have social audio platforms, such as Clubhouse,
And now Spotify's Green Room.
Green Room.
So, and you have to recognize that 3.78 billion social media users is the equivalent of half the population. There's about 8 billion people in the world. So half of them are social media users. Our population in the US is around 330 million. So we're only a small percentage of that. The rest of those are on social media platforms. Not only, of course, Facebook is in Europe and in Asia as well as North America, but they have their own set of social media platforms independent of ours. And that's where you get that 3.78 billion social media users. One thing they do have in common, though, a lot of them, although there are other variations of it, is they have Google. So when they search for something, Google's going to come back and say, here are your options, and it will include all the possible options. And that's where you want to keep winning the game, your presence on Google as much as the social media platforms.
So, right, as you said, roughly 2/3 of U.S. adults, 68%, now report that they are Facebook users. And these are, again, 2021 statistics. And the latest social media statistics in 2021 show that an average of 2 hours and 25 minutes are spent per day per person on social media. So if you are just posting and not even putting up ads, you at least have a piece of this pie for free. All you have to do is have a way to get onto the internet, right? So if you have a cell phone and Wi-Fi, you're in. Very low bar of entry, especially compared to what it was 20, 30 years ago when you had to buy time on television or radio and you didn't have free options. Even putting your yellow pages or any kind of advertising was going to cost money. You couldn't advertise for free hardly at all, ever. Word of mouth was as good as it got. Now you have all of this available to you. Use it. Don't just ignore it or say, I'm overwhelmed by it, or I don't want to deal with it, or I don't like Facebook. It's there for you to use, so use it.
And I think one of the things that you have to point out is that there's a big difference on Facebook between your friends and your followers. I think I have 35 Facebook friends because my rule of Facebook is that you either have to be a family member or someone who I come in personal contact with, right? I don't friend people who I've never come in contact with, although we may have exchanged emails or something like that. But I do have over 600 followers. And what that means is there are people who are interested in the content. This show goes on my personal page. And so not only are my family and friends going to have to deal with it, but those 600 followers are going to eventually see this material as well. So consider the possibility that if you are putting content, whether it's on your personal profile page or on a page you made for your business or in a group that supports a particular hobby, right? Electric bikes. I belong to the electric bike group. I belong to microscopy group. So they're seeing that content as well, because they could very well be following me, not even be friends, not even being able to comment on my content, but they're there and they're interested in what I'm talking about or what I'm doing or what I'm presenting. So.
Now, the other piece of it is not just putting it out there, but engaging with people, having people reach back to you. And it's going to take a while for that to happen. It could be 27, 37, 40, 45 posts before they ever comment on something that they see that you've posted. That's why it's important to consistently post. And there are different schools of thought on what to post. A lot of people are seeing video, and then they say under 20 seconds. Then they say, 3 to 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or what is the length? And don't worry about that, right? Just get stuff up. And they're also saying mix up between video, images, and conversation starter, just text posts. And again, I think whatever works best for you, I would try them all, see what brings in engagement, and then double down on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Let me see, 2 hours and 25 minutes, huh? A day?
Average,
Mm.
which means some people are on there 6 hours and some people are on there hardly at all. So
Mm.
average. So this, speaking of social media, is where we like to focus our attention when we're on social media, is our Facebook group, Leveraging Your Content. And it is specifically set up for entrepreneurs who are 50 and over. We offer entry-level technology solutions, interactive resources, live training and troubleshooting, and we can teach you to turn one idea into a social media storm of content to build visibility and credibility. This particular show is an example of that. But if you'd like to join us for networking and collaboration opportunities, as well as interview opportunities with us, then go to Facebook/groups/leveraging your content. So we're learning how to attract clients with a social media storm of content. I challenge you to Google yourself. Then Google me, Shelley Carney. Make sure you spell it right. Google Toby. And see if you've got as many hits on Google as we do. And if not, how can you rise to that challenge?
Do not only the number of hits, but the variety,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Everything from videos to audios from videos to podcasts to blog posts.
Right. There are 89,409 Google searches per second. Capitalize on that. You? What are your target audience members Googling? What do you want them to find when they Google that? Webinars, roundups, interviews, gated content, guides, and ebooks are the most effective content types.
And it boils down, especially in those content types, it boils down to your willingness to share your expertise in a way that it disables the expectation that something's going to happen as a result. Something will happen. But if you guard and protect your expertise like it is in a bank vault, then you're never it's like, what's that old saw about investment? You have to spend $1 to make $1.
Mm.
It's the same with expertise. You have to give away a little expertise in order to get something back from it. And so don't be worried about taking something that you think you own in terms of knowledge, your knowledge base. Be open with it. Write an ebook about it, whatever it is. Promote that ebook so that at least you get a name and an email address, and then use that as a basis for establishing your credibility with your prospective client base. So Shelley, I don't do a lot of it because I don't have the necessary patience. If I could do it just in videos, I would do that. But Shelley is one of the most prolific content creators that I've ever been around. She takes any idea, any little conversation we have, and the next thing that happens is she's got an ebook about it, and she's got a landing page to go along with it, and she's really good at turning a simple thought, a simple conversation into something that generates interest in what we're doing. So she always impresses me with that.
Well, and the thing is, every time I create content, I learn it better. And another thing, there are coaches and consultants and educators and people making money teaching who don't teach anything different than anybody else in their industry, yet they can still make money because they do it in a very organized and clear manner that people are attracted to. So keep that in mind when you're putting things together and you're saying, I don't teach anything new and unusual and cutting edge. I just teach these things. Well, they're still helpful. They're still good information, and you've put it in an organized and clear manner, so people are going to want it. It's as simple as that. That's why those webinars and interviews and things of that nature do so well. Creative campaign producers training, learn to produce a creative campaign to attract clients through content marketing. So this is something that we're offering for people who are interested. We have a free training. It's just a couple of short videos that takes you through the process. And if you would like to get that free training, we have that available.
We're going to show them in just a minute once we finish with your presentation.
That's all I have on that.
Is it?
So connect with us, schedule a free consulting call to define your social media goals, assess your specific needs, clarify your best options. You can find all of our links at messagesandmethods.com or shelleycarney.com or tyounis.com. That's where all of our links live so that they're easy to find. But we're also going to put several links in the description box and show notes for you.
But if you forget if you forget what we're talking about tonight, just go to shelleycarney.com or tyounis.com and you'll find everything there as well. All right. So let me take you to the pages. I do want to share this with you. I am a member of Fiverr.com, and once a week I get an email from them that says what they're doing, what they're talking about. And in this email, today's email, they offered me a 25% discount on this course, Launch, Market, and Monetize a Podcast, which is what we teach our clients to do. And it's only $36. I get a 25% discount on it. There's a free preview. And as you can see, it's got 23 different classes or short videos. The longest one, I think, was
online education is just booming right now.
Right.
Just booming, especially because of the pandemic and because of the cost of universities and people going into debt for the rest of their lives with student loans. Online education has become a great alternative to that. And that means an opportunity for people who are teachers who want to offer their knowledge in a course format to do that. Now, if you want to work with us to figure out the video portion of that, we are also course creators ourselves, so we understand how it's done, and we would love to work with you on that.
Anyway, the reason I was going to suggest that if you're not with Fiverr.com, join them. Doesn't cost you anything to join. As you know, we showed Fiverr.com on our show Tuesday night because we use it to produce assets for us and for our clients. But here's an opportunity if you didn't know anything about podcasting and you had $36. And if you decide to take the course, let me know and send me an email and I will send you the 25% discount code. So you get it for $27 and you get a nice little course in how to launch, market, and monetize a podcast. I thought it was pretty cool. All right. So let's go here first. You already talked a little bit about this.
Right. This is our Leveraging Your Content Facebook group. We would love to have you in there. It's growing slowly, but we are being very choosy about who's in there. We only want people who are in their 50s and older and who are focusing in on podcasting, live streaming, and blogging and want to do that in a safe place. And this community is that, as well as a place to come for support and networking. This is our client attraction ebook, as I showed you earlier. And this is the landing page to go get it.
And I'm putting all those links in the chat room, but if you don't see them in the chat room, just look at the description box below and you'll be able to find all these links there.
Right. If you go scroll down, you'll see where to put in,
right there.
Name, email, send me the checklist.
And it will immediately.
If you're interested in coming on our show on Wednesday night to be interviewed, to talk about your business and your life and your transition from, corporate to online entrepreneur, and you would like to do that, this is where you go. There's 3 short videos that walk you through the process of how to schedule that with us and what to expect.
And you get the opportunity, if you just click here, click there, and it's going to open a scheduling window for you. You can pick the Wednesday show that you want to join us on. So it's up to you. Everything is there. Everything you need is right there.
That's right.
And then last but not least.
Okay. So this is our free mini course, live streaming made easy. And we call it the Creative Campaign Producer Training. So it teaches you the Creative Campaign framework and how to employ that to share your message with the world. So,
All right.
yay.
That one hicked up on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook doesn't like that.
It's getting a little more
Yeah, it doesn't like that link.
hinky.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we have for this evening. We do hope that you will want to grab one of these free checklists. Again, there's 27 different ways in there to use live streaming, podcasting, blogging, email, lead magnets, and social media posting to connect with quality leads.
So, what are your plans for the holiday weekend?
We're having a party
Yeah, we are.
Saturday.
We're having a party with friends. Our first party in a year and a half.
Since
the pandemic.
lockdown.
So everybody's vaccinated. We're all getting back together. And then I'm having my family over on Sunday. What's our plan for next week?
Next week, we're going to talk more about blogging. We're going to do a deep dive on blogging, what you should put in your blog, how long your blog should be, where to post your blog, what apps and sort of things can help you create blogs. So we're going to just deep dive on blogging next week.
With the expectation that you're starting with something and not necessarily having to write from scratch, although that is possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what
I
content.
do Scratch. I do everything. I do
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah, she does it all.
I can do any kind of blog.
She's one of the hypotheses that I've developed over my life is that people are either really good writers or really good speakers, and we're a great match because she's a really good writer and I'm a really great speaker, although she's a pretty good speaker too.
Let's practice.
But we work really, really well together. But she just amazes me at her skill in writing.
All right. So do join us next week and we'll see you there.
Let's see.
Thank you for joining us for the AGK Media Studio podcast with Shelley Carney and Toby Younis. Please subscribe, leave a great review, and comment with questions or ideas for future shows. Share our podcast with your family and friends and discover how you can become a creative campaign producer at agkmedia.studio or join our Facebook group, Leveraging Your Content. Check the show notes for links and resources and please come back again next week.